I'm Matt Montgomery. He's Paul MeatSauce Lambert. We're back, and we're in a new time slot. We're taking over the old 9:30.
I'm excited to be here in the building and at the 9:30 time slot.
You know, the sports show, Mike Max, Dark Star, Patrick Royce, Sid Hartman, they had this slot. 20 years. It's a good run.
Yeah, I don't know why they gave it to us. They must be really desperate.
I don't know why they gave it to us either.
I don't know either. I mean, man, I don't. We have big shoes to fill, as my grandmother would say.
If there's anybody that could fill Sid Hartman's shoes, I think it's you.
I don't know what to say to that.
I don't know
if that's
either.
a nice thing or a mean thing.
I meant it to be nice.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
I'm glad to be here.
Let's start the show. I thought your grandma was known for saying a lot of things.
Yeah, she once told me, "Wake your grandfather up. We're going to the liquor store." I was 3 years old. That's a true story, and I did. And we went to the liquor store.
Did you get like a sucker or something?
No, we went and got KFC, and then the KFC bucket had all legs and no breasts in it. My grandfather literally called them up on a snowy night in December and drove back up there just to prove a point. I'm not making
Just
that
to
up.
prove a point.
Yeah, my grandmother sat in the house and drank gin, but I was 3 years old. It was sweet.
You had a great trip. Liquor
did.
store and KFC as a
Yeah.
3-year-old.
I'd kill for that.
You
now.
remember it to this day.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get to the real business here. Vikings win today, 22-10. Your thoughts? Sam Bradford coming along a little bit. Not as good as last week, but still a W is a W.
I think the thing that we get out of Sam Bradford that we've seen with Sam Bradford is they put him in the spot that they did today, and he kind of won him the game. I mean,
Yeah.
he scored the go-ahead touchdown to put them ahead against a very good Carolina defense. He was horrible. They were all horrible in the first half, the offense was. But
Defense wasn't great in the first half either.
No, and after those first two drives, they shut. I mean, I think after that safety, it's not in the. I don't know if this is the exact order, but Carolina went like punt, 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 interception, punt, interception, punt, interception, turnover on downs. So
The rest
defense
of the game after those
right,
first two?
yeah, after that safety, which got the game going and got the game going in the Vikings' direction. But Sam Bradford, the thing that I like about him is he can make the throws that Teddy Bridgewater can't. And he's got that zip on the ball that Teddy Bridgewater can't, and he can put it into a small spot that Teddy Bridgewater couldn't, and that is very crucial in tight games like this when you need a first down. And he's throwing those kind of, over the middle dump off passes to Kyle Rudolph just to catch him in kind of a pocket and kind of fall back with it. That he threw to Adam Thielen was on a dime, and Adam made that great catch. The touchdown catch was amazing. He puts the ball where the receivers wanted, and Carolina they were going to stop Stephon Diggs. They did for the most part, but they still got the victory. It was a great team victory, but man, that defense is fun to watch.
Yeah, Bradford last week, I think, was more exemplary of all the things you were talking about putting it in a tight spot. Last week, he was perfect.
Yeah.
This week, a little bit less, but still, like you said, he managed the game enough to get the win.
Yeah, last week he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, that was incredible. I mean, he comes out and he throws that touchdown pass he threw with Mike Daniels barreling down on him that he just lofts up there, zings it right to Diggs in the back of the end zone. That was an incredible pass.
That's one that you'd say Teddy wouldn't have thrown.
Right. And that's the other thing that we've seen with this offense is they throw that bang route down the field that they can't. And I love Teddy, but they can't throw with Teddy. And Sam Bradford gets knocked around a lot, but he stands in that pocket and throws the football. He could lead this team to big things, but this defense may lead him to the biggest thing, and that is the Super Bowl.
That's a great segue, because I was just going to say, enough drooling over Sam Bradford. Do you think it was special teams, or do you think it was defense? I mean, who is the group, or who is maybe the individual that won the game for us today?
Well, it's obviously the defense. They harass Cam Newton, 8 sacks. Everson gets 3 of them. Harrison Smith gets that one off the edge where he whips around.
He just turned that corner.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The defense that the Minnesota Vikings have, you could rival with any defense in the NFL, and you could put it up there against Denver. And the only reason you would give Denver the nod is the Minnesota Vikings don't have Von Miller. But the Minnesota Vikings have Everson Griffin. The Minnesota Vikings have
Anthony Barr.
Joseph. Kendricks is phenomenal. Rhodes played pretty good. Trey Waynes is kind of coming into his own.
They tried to pick on this is my
Sure.
It felt like they were picking on him for a little bit today. His interception, I'm not going to complain. It's an interception, but it was wobbly. He could have very easily dropped that or get it knocked out of his hand. But he was in the position, so he played it well. Gets the pick 2 weeks in a row. After last week, they were definitely trying to pick on him. This week, a little less, but still, when the plays were going his way, he seemed to be in position.
Yeah, the all around the defense. It got to the point where the defense, you didn't feel bad giving them the ball back. When they went up 22-10, when they scored those 22 unanswered points, you're going, well, there's no way they're going to score 2 touchdowns on this defense, and they never stopped coming. They never stopped coming at the quarterback, and they just never gave up. They were relentless the entire game, and that defense should be proud of that victory today, and it was mostly them. But Sam Bradford did march him down the field in that big drive, 6-minute drive in the third quarter, led him to a touchdown, and that was basically the end of it there. And they didn't go for 2, which was stupid. But
I was going to ask that. Well,
I don't know why they don't.
Well, do you want to talk Blair Walsh, or do you want to talk a month ago?
I don't know.
The reason I was going to say a month ago, we were talking about Teddy's going to have the big up year. We've got the defense. We've got Adrian. Now we don't have Teddy. Now we don't have Adrian.
Yeah.
And yet the defense as the core, we're 3-0. I mean, if we would have thought this was still Sean Hill, do you think we'd be 3-0?
No.
Do you think the Bradford move is that important?
I think Bradford's that important because I think if they go Sean Hill last week against the Packers, I think they lose. I think Sean Hill finds him a way to lose. Sean Hill can't throw the ball down the field like Sam Bradford can.
Right.
And when you have Sam Bradford, you have the full playbook. When you have Sean Hill as your quarterback, you got about 60% of it. You can't waggle, you can't bootleg, you can't do any of those other, down the field,
Deep
the
ball.
9 route or whatever they call it. You can't do that with Sean Hill. Having Sam Bradford is a big thing, and it was an absolute. Getting Teddy Bridgewater hurt sucks. Great guy, but I think in the long run it'll be a blessing in disguise.
Let's go. Biggest group that you'd pick on right now. Do you pick on Blair Walsh and say we need to change something, or do you pick on the offensive line? Because Khalil out. Alex Boone, we still don't know the injury there. The line, I mean, we were saying when Adrian was still there, they're not giving him holes. Today, the running game, Jerick McKinnon, they didn't really have any breakaway. There was nothing impressive.
He had a 14-yard run, but
that was mostly on him.
Yeah, the offensive line came that first drive in the second half, that was big. The offensive line kind of stood up with some of the guys they had in there. The offensive line is really bad. I mean, Andre Smith, AJ and I talked about this on Vikings Overtime earlier today. If they had a replacement for Andre Smith, they'd replace him. He's that bad. He's just slow and out of shape, and he's just slow. He's not a good player. And they don't have a replacement for him because they've now moved their right tackle over to left tackle because they've lost Matt Khalil. But the kicking game, you can't have a kicker like that because if this team, let's just say this team was 1-2 or 2-1, I don't know if he'd have a job because he hasn't blatantly lost them a game.
Right. He hasn't cost
season.
him anything.
He did last year.
I know.
He cost him huge last year.
We all remember.
He hasn't cost him anything this season. If he does, I don't think he'll be on. You can't miss extra points. It's right down the middle. You cannot miss extra points, and he did again today.
I like your analysis before. He's slow. He's not good.
He's not. Andre Smith's terrible. He's terrible.
Terrible.
He shouldn't be on the offense. No, I'm telling you, if they had a replacement for him, he wouldn't be starting. I mean, you look at the paper here.
They got nobody.
Well, I mean, let's go through
No
this.
answers.
See, now my prop comes into play here. Their right tackle
pictures.
backup is Jeremiah Searles, who was at left guard because Alex Boone's out. Zach Kieran is a left guard. You're going to put one of those guys? No. Andre Smith is bad. He's the worst guy on that line. And Alex Boone isn't much better. Alex Boone sucks too.
Oof.
They're bad.
Man,
the offensive line's bad. They're
right.
really bad. Brandon Fusco, last week's game, that touchdown that Bradford threw to Diggs, I mean, he's literally doing the Olay route behind him because he can't keep up with the guy. And Brandon Fusco is a great guy. I love that guy, but he sucks at football. That offensive line sucks right now, and they're going to get Bradford killed.
Well,
but they only gave up 2 sacks today, so we'll see.
Right. Today seemed a lot better than last week.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I think it.
I still would pick on the line as being our biggest weakness.
Yeah, that is their biggest weakness.
Blair can be hot cold.
Sure.
I mean, he can be really hot. The line has just looked consistently
They can
poor.
both cost you a game, though.
Absolutely. All right, time for us to take our first time out. We got a little Gopher action. Get your beverage chilled. We're going to be drinking. Might even talk a little politics.
What?
Uh-oh.
I don't want to do that.
Welcome back to Wintersville, USA. Gophers also 3-0. Although I would say it's an underwhelming victory against Colorado State. I think it was 31-24. Your thoughts on the Gopher program right now? Undefeated, non-conference play in the rearview mirror. Anything that we can take away from the win yesterday at the bank?
Well, they played 2 weeks ago. They played an Indiana State Sycamore team that they beat pretty bad, but that
Very
team
soundly.
is awful. Then the first game against the Beavers, they beat by 7. They should have beat
and
by
late, it was close.
14. I
Or
just,
more.
you know, it's tough to rip on college kids because I'm not that guy, but it's the same story with them. They play these non-conference games against these teams that are awful. They barely win. They have to hold on at the end. They got Big Ten play that starts on Saturday. They play Penn State. We'll see, but it's it's always the same story. Last year they played that Colorado State team and barely won.
Overtime, wasn't it?
Yeah, they won 17-14, something like that. They barely won. It's the same story with them. I mean, they always say, well, they got these 3 running backs. Well, if you have 3 running backs, you don't have a running back. And
It's committee. You
right?
see which one's gonna
Leitner's
stand
all
out.
right, but they got to blow these teams out. And you go, well, they blew out Indiana State.
Yeah.
The 5 of us in this building could probably put up points against Indiana State.
Would you be
gotta,
slot receiver or line?
I'd be lying. That's too much
I know.
running. I wouldn't run very much.
I wanna
don't
see
like
you run
running.
a route. That'd be
no,
great.
I'm out. I don't like running at all.
Todd would be a great receiver. He's pretty quick.
Who's Todd?
He's very spry. You know Todd. See, that's our ongoing bit. Our boss Todd. It's a hashtag. We could get it trending. You
no
could get it
Todd.
trending.
There's no Todd.
Well, all right.
I don't know who you're talking about.
So Leidner,
You should
we don't have to
maybe
pick on.
seek to talk to somebody about Todd.
Who was laughing? Todd.
No one
See,
is
all right.
laughing.
All right.
You're hearing things.
Leidner, I'm not trying to pick on him, but again, underwhelming statistics. And he's the guy that's kind of been.
He's been there forever.
Yeah, he's their spotlight guy. He's the guy that everybody's looking for to be the leader. And I'm not, a win is a win. I'm not cracking down on that. But going against Colorado State, you got to be putting up better numbers than that. And that's a defense that is not Big Ten quality.
Is it a freshman quarterback they played? It's a
I
young
don't know about the other
quarterback.
but I'm saying the defense, that is not Big Ten
you
quality.
You should put
So
up
if he's-
58 points like you did 2 weeks ago
Against
against
the
Indiana
Sycamores.
State. You should kill them. You should hammer Colorado State. And they have a chance. They've got a super weak schedule, but
There's still 2 or 3
Wisconsin,
losses on there. I mean,
ran roughshod over Michigan State yesterday.
Roughshod?
Michigan, is that a word?
I think it's roughshod.
I don't know. Why don't you ask Todd over there if it's a word?
Google it.
And then I'm not. I don't want to know.
No, not
come
you.
Up.
You put your phone down. All right, let's be done with the Gophers. We're going to go to the Timberwolves now. Kevin Garnett, the face of the franchise, the kid, the ticket, retires. Your thoughts?
One of the coolest moments in Minnesota sports history, and I say this without. I'm not saying this to get nominated for Buster Statement, and I'm not just saying this to get people going.
If you do, will my name be included?
Sure.
Because then do it.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll say it.
Sweet.
The game where he came back last year, granted it was all a publicity stunt, it was all to sell tickets, and it was all a move because Flip Saunders is his buddy. I get that, but in any business, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Was one of the coolest moments in Minnesota sports history. Now, that says a lot because we've had 2 World Series, but when he came back, I was at the second game, and just the energy for a 12-win team was unbelievable. Kevin Garnett was one of those guys that put Minnesota professional basketball on the map. He took them to all those playoffs. He won the MVP. That year he won the MVP. They were super fun to watch.
Yeah. Yep.
It was much-watched TV, and it proved that this town, if they're good, can be a basketball town. This town can and will be a basketball town because of Karl Anthony Towns. And the best part about Kevin Garnett coming back here is the butterfly effect it had that then they went and got. Then they drafted Karl Anthony Towns, and then Karl Anthony Towns got to spend a year at Kevin Garnett, forward school, you could call it. But
Just
great run.
being a
Yeah,
mentor.
great run by Kevin Garnett, first ballot Hall of Famer. I loved his intensity. I love that in an athlete, how intense he was. But, he's first. Think of that Hall of Fame class: Duncan, Kobe. and Garnett. That'll be unbelievable to see that top 15 player of all time.
Probably.
I mean,
At
he'd
least.
probably, if you put together a 12-man all-time team, he'd probably come off the bench. That's how good he is.
All time.
Oh yeah, him and Tim Duncan would be. You could win a lot of games with Tim Duncan, and you could. It's just pick whoever you want. You want the loud guy, or you want the
Intense
super good
or the
teammate.
quiet,
Yeah.
humble, hit a 15-foot
They're both
bank.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, staying with the Wolves, tomorrow is their media day. What are the expectations this year? You kind of touched on it with Karl Anthony Towns being the replacement. What are the expectations? Is it playoff or bust this year? Thinking we got to make it.
I think I read somewhere that the over-under is 42, which would be a 13-game increase from last year when they won 29. I think thank you. I think they have to make the playoffs. They got a great coaching staff. They've got a phenomenal rookie in Chris Dunn, who will be dynamite when he starts to play. Andrew Wiggins should hopefully take a big step forward. And if Karl Anthony Towns even takes a small step forward, it's still a massive step.
Yeah.
And I've said this all along, and at least in the next 2 or 3 years, Karl Anthony Towns will be one of the best players in the NBA.
You haven't been proven wrong yet.
No.
He's on that track.
He's unbelievable how good he is and how good of a teammate he is, and he wants to win. He likes being here. He's the perfect complement to what they want with the Wolves, and he's a budding superstar in this league, and don't mess it up. And they have a very good chance with Wiggins, Levine, Dunn, and Karl to have a dynamite basketball. I'll say this, if they won, let's just say, if they win 50 games, I don't think I'd be shocked. Wow. I wouldn't be shocked.
Thibodeau, Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
easily.
100%. 100% he'll be Coach of the Year.
Put it on the board right now.
Yes.
Twins, dumpster fire. Ugh. Guess what? Today.
They did it.
Loss number 100.
They did it.
And we got 6 games left to go.
Yeah, they did it. They are a disaster. Luckily, there's no more home games because as I rooted and cheered for, they should let everybody in for free. I mean, it's disgusting how bad. They have, you looking at the standings, it's just so weird.
They're so bad.
56 and 100. 56 and 100. They are hideously bad. They've got a lot to do to make anything next year. I mean, how are they?
No optimism here?
None. I mean, they don't have the pitching staff. Yeah. I don't know how you could get worse. I mean, other than they had that,
they might find a way.
They did have that mini run there where they won,
2 in a
11.
row?
No, I think they won 14 or 15 out of 17 or something like that in the summer. They don't win that. They're a 40-win ball team.
Yee. All right.
They're embarrassing.
Get that beverage ready. We might have a little bit more dumpster fire. We might have politics. We might have
I don't know
movies.
anything about politics.
All right, let's go to break.
Okay.
You don't know anything?
Nothing. Primaries, that's a word.
Normally, this is where we start cracking jokes and ask a bunch of silly questions and drink. But tonight, a little bit of a sad moment. We're gonna honor Arnold Palmer, golf legend, passed away just maybe within the last hour. It's been reported, 87 years old. So this we can honor him with our beverage. Are you gonna clink or?
Oh yeah.
There we go. So that's for Arnie. There's not an Arnold Palmer in this. I can assure you that. But we just thought we had to include that in the show.
Whatever that is tastes like pure bleach water.
Yum. Todd mixed your drink.
There is no Todd. No one mixed my drink. I made it on my own.
All right, let's stick with the Twins. 100 losses.
Okay.
They've done it 3 seasons.
Jesus.
1961, 1982, and this year.
Okay.
Right now, they are 56 and 100.
Yeah.
How many wins have they had at home? And I'll give you a ballpark. If you just guess a number.
That's a really
If you're within a handful, I'll probably give it to you.
27.
30. I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
Nice.
I don't want to drink this probably bong water.
Bong water. Are we in college?
No, but never mind. Let's move on.
You're familiar.
Oh,
so the Vikings win today in Carolina. It snapped a home streak for the Panthers. Some said 11 games, but I think that's just regular season. I think it was 14 if you included playoffs. You're agreeing?
Yeah,
you're
I think you're right. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I was going to say, so when was the last time that they lost at home, if you can name the month and the year?
The last time the Panthers lost at home
Yeah.
would have been...
So if it's 14 games, including playoffs and stuff, 11 regular season.
So it would have been 2014.
That's the year. So can you name a month?
November.
He's perfect tonight. Yeah. Look at you.
I don't want to drink this bleach water.
You're forcing me to drink it because you're right so much. This will be a record. You've never been right this much.
Well, I'm actually trying to pay attention.
Man. All right, so Kevin Garnett retires.
Okay.
21 seasons in the NBA, $330 million in payroll. That's outside of endorsements. So where does he rank all time in just pay?
1.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, duh. That's the
Duh.
easiest question of all of them.
Come
of
on.
course he's number
Sometimes
1.
I try to just throw you a softball.
I think he's the
so you
only player to ever get he got $200+ million contracts.
Yeah.
And now he'll blow that out of the water.
Oh, I'm sure in
coming up
today's
now. Well, yeah,
standards,
LeBron. What did LeBron sign? A 3-year, $100 million deal?
Let's not talk about LeBron. Let's
Okay,
Let's
I
leave
didn't know
him out.
you
Sorry,
hated
no,
him.
go ahead.
Let me
I
guess.
don't
He
hate
made
them.
fun of Todd once.
You know what? If he did, I'd be mad.
No, Todd's not real.
What actor from the 50s and 60s and
Ernest
70s?
Borgnine.
That's this
like
is
the
insane.
initials
This
game.
is insane. You are so hot.
Yep. You didn't even just said the 50s.
I know.
I'm like, this is Ernest Borgnine.
Okay, I skipped last week. We
Yeah,
skipped our
I
show
know.
because we were
I
switching
knew it
time
was
slots.
coming, though. I'm like,
2
well,
weeks
where's
ago,
the
I didn't
Ernest
even have it
Borgnine
on there.
question?
Yeah, I was going to even ask. His birth name was Ernest Borgnine.
That doesn't even make sense.
That's his birth name.
No, you're making things
No,
up.
I'm not. You know what? If Wikipedia is making stuff up, the world is going to
Ernest
end.
Efron Borgnine?
Hermes
Oh,
Efron
Borgnine?
Borgnine.
I think I've seen that guy in a movie. Borgnine.
What kind of movie is
That
that?
sounds like a Beavis and Butthead character. Borgnine.
Borgnine.
Any more brain busters?
I got some brain. I got some tough ones in here now. All right.
Go ahead.
74-year-old comedian Terry Jones was just diagnosed with dementia. What famous comedy
Are
troupe?
you kidding? Monty Python. I grew up on Monty Python, man. I mean, come on.
This is
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Monty Python.
Did you steal my notebook before we got together here?
Monty Python. I knew. I grew up.
You did not know.
Yeah, of course
Really?
I did.
No.
Yeah, well, one, it's all over Twitter. I love Monty Python. Life of Brian is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh my God.
Holy Grail is genius.
You have a
film.
holy grail, everybody. Yeah. Clip, clop, clip, clop.
That's so brilliant.
All right.
Cuts all his arm. It's a flesh wound. No,
Right.
it isn't. Your arm's off. No, it isn't. Genius.
I love this. I can't believe you've gotten everyone right.
Robin Hood
and
his penis.
What's that? See?
That's an actual
This
word.
is a family show
Yeah, but
here.
it's a body part. I didn't say the other euphemisms I have for it.
All right, let's stop right there. All right, this is where I teased that we were going to get political. So tomorrow night is the first presidential debate.
Okay.
Nielsen is expecting there to be 80 to 100 million viewers. Is that over or under last year's Super Bowl?
That'd be under.
It is under.
Yes.
Last year's Super Bowl got 112 million.
Jeez, that's still a ton.
It's a lot of people. The highest rated presidential debate of all time, 1980. Reagan and Carter, 81 million. They're expecting they're going to blow that out.
Wow.
I know, isn't that crazy?
That's incredible. No, I'm just shocked that I got 5 in a row. Is that 6 in a row?
You ran the table.
Yeah, I did.
You didn't get a single one wrong.
Yeah.
This is the end. All right. Man versus baby. We'll explain it. Time for a break. All right, you're probably wondering what man versus baby means. Do you want to explain it or should I?
Is it that fantasy thing we do?
It is, and you know what? It's completely free.
Yeah.
You don't really have to join it. You can follow us on Twitter, and then you can follow the show page, and you can meet the baby Owen, who actually beat. Did he beat you last week?
I don't know.
He beat me. He
Yeah.
won. He won both.
Everybody beat. Who are you talking to?
Somebody.
Okay. I was worried about you for a minute.
A friend of mine named Todd.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking.
Are you making this
All right.
child up too?
All right, so go on Twitter, follow us up.
You are
Man
having
versus
a beautiful
baby.
mind moment.
I'm having that moment.
Yeah, you are.
We'll see you back here next week.
Bye.